Welcome back to Better or Worse Than Transformers, where we take a movie or a TV show and tell you whether it is better or worse than the most mediocre movie ever made, Michael Bay's Transformers. I'm your host, Joseph. With me are my co-hosts, Ian.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
And Christian.
What's up, y'all?
This week we will be covering Star Wars The Last Jedi, the most divisive Star Wars film since every Star Wars film released after Empire Strikes Back.
Good point.
Yeah. So before we get into that, Ian, would you want to start us in with the news for the week?
Well, yeah. Thanks, Joseph. There's been some trailers, some casting stuff we're pretty interested in telling you guys about. First thing is Ready Player One comes out March 29th, so 2 weeks out. Release, I think it's probably the last trailer, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
I just watched it, so I don't know if you guys have some stronger thoughts. I think that movie's gonna be fine. I think I like Spielberg, but Spielberg's made a lot of duds, lately. I don't like BFG. He makes a lot of adult stuff, but I'm not gonna know as many of the references I think some of you guys might. Like, I don't know who the Iron Giant is.
What was your childhood like?
Did you not have Cartoon Network growing up?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Some of this stuff, some of it I know. Like, I know it has the car from Back to the Future, but this one looked better. What did you guys think?
I dug this trailer. I'm very excited for this movie, as we've talked about at length. Basically, every podcast where this movie's come up. I'm a big fan of the book. Things that this trailer had that I thought were cool, kind of nods are when he's climbing the mountain. He's doing it with Batman. The T-Rex from Jurassic Park, to see Steven Spielberg direct a movie again with the T-Rex in it.
I didn't think about that connection. That's cool.
I like the Akira motorcycle. The book Ultraman plays a really big part. So 1960s like Japanese property. Then we heard this week that Ultraman's not going to be in it. So based off watching the trailer and then finding that news out, I'm sure Iron Giant's going to replace that role. Mm-hmm. But no, that was definitely the best trailer.
I like that Mendo's the villain in every single movie right now. I'm a big fan.
He's great.
Captain Marvel, Star Wars. He's kind of hitting it out of the park right now.
Look, I don't think he's great in Star Wars, but I do like him in general as an actor and as a villain.
What do you think?
I think this is it does the best job, I think, of explaining like the story and like who to root for and why you care. Yeah. I feel like the other trailers, they're hitting the music, they're hitting the heavy CGI, but I don't feel like you get a good sense of like what's going on and why you should be invested in it. So that's why I feel like this is the best trailer so far. Also the chase scene through the city with the T-Rex is really fucking awesome.
The music in all the trailers has been good. The World of Pure Imagination in the first one, and that kind of like string orchestra version of Take on Me in that one was really cool. Like I've dug the music. I enjoy all the references.
No thoughts on Tom Sawyer?
The transition into Tom Sawyer. That's how I feel like a really bad drummer to not address that part.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the animation, but you guys are probably right that to me it looks like video game cutscene stuff. But that's probably the point.
I mean, the kid's playing a video game.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise me. The next thing that came out is Fantastic Beasts 2: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Released the trailer, the sequel to the most cash grab movie I can remember in a long time.
Agreed.
Basically, she just wants some more Harry Potter money and is trying to find a way to tie it.
I mean, she's doing a great job.
I think they're not making just 3. Someone told me it's like 5.
Is it really?
They're making 5 movies.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
set over the course of like 50 years and in 5 different locations.
Yeah, everything's going to be like a different city. So I think that Johnny Depp. Oh God, it sucks they got locked into him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's the worst.
Kind of bad timing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they want to get out of that. But I don't know. What you guys think of the trailer?
I mean, I like the fact that immediately they've like changed the look so Johnny Depp looks less like Johnny Depp, which again is I think an intentional choice. I like the casting of Jude Law.
Yeah, I'm so about him as Albus Dumbledore.
I don't know.
He's good in the trailer too.
Yeah, my problem with the first one is it's such a soulless cash grab. Mm-hmm. Like the concept is interesting, and I feel like the general characters and stuff aren't bad. But again, it's just empty. It's so empty. Mm-hmm. But I feel like having somebody as like charismatic as Jude Law kind of carrying it might, I don't know, infuse a little bit more character into the film.
He seems so charming.
He does seem so charming.
I'm a big Harry Potter fan. When my daughter was born, like while I was on paternity leave, I went and reread all the books. I own all the movies on Blu-ray, including Fantastic Beasts. So of course I'm going to see Crimes of Grindelwald. I think the trailer is it. I have higher hopes for it than I had for Fantastic Beasts. I like the cast, but I like what you guys say. It's just soulless. Like it didn't really feel like it needed to exist in any way. But I think they're making I don't know if this was originally the idea, but I think it's a smart decision. In the seventh book, it kind of talks about Dumbledore's history with Grindelwald and the battle for the Elder Wand. That absolutely should have been the focus from the beginning. Like, Newt Scamander is a fine character, and they have a fine actor playing him. But if you were telling me you were going to make a trilogy of movies just about Albus and Grindelwald and their search for the Deathly Hallows and their fight, I'm all about that.
That's super fair.
So I'm glad we're transitioning more into that. Hopefully, it continues and lives up.
I wish they would have kept Colin Farrell.
I know,
and
he was great. Yeah,
he was really good.
Him, I don't know why they made that switch. The other thing, two things that I guess we want to talk about is, one thing is Ezra Miller's character, who's like a troubled wizard in the first one. I guess he's related to Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yeah, there's a shot in the trailer where it's him standing under, I guess it's like a family tree map thing of the Lestrange family, and people have drawn associations that maybe he is a part of the Lestrange family.
And she's the one who killed Sirius Black.
Yes, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
But yes.
Well, and Zoe Kravitz, her character is a Lestrange.
Yep. So I think that they're going to have Zoe Kravitz is probably going to be recruiting Ezra Miller or something along those lines.
Maybe.
I'm kind of happy to see it. I liked Ezra Miller in that movie.
I thought he played the part fine. I just wanted more out of him. I just feel like it's a way he's so funny and charming and enjoyable on screen to have him just be this depressed kid all the time. I'd like to see more confident and cocky, and maybe after he buffed up to play the Flash, this new version of whatever that character's name is. I can't remember.
Credence, I think?
Credence. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Maybe a buffed up version of Credence.
So the first one's set in New York?
Correct.
And the second one's what is it?
Paris.
And have we been to Paris?
Nope.
Okay.
The closest you get is whatever the Bombaton or whatever their name is.
See, I'd like to go outside of Europe.
Well, you made it to America in the first.
Well, yeah, I would like to go maybe what's Mexico?
Or Japan, or
or
that.
China.
Let's find the wizarding version of Wakanda.
Yeah, I like that. Or I want to go to some of those schools they do in number 4 is my favorite. Is it 4?
Yeah,
the Triwizard Cup.
That's where.
I just rewatched the movie this past week. It's the worst movie.
Yeah, but it's the best story.
Well, I don't know. Chamber of Secrets is a pretty bad movie.
Well, it's funny because I watched them both. I'm trying to do it in order of worst to best, and I watched Chamber of Secrets first, and I'd way rather rewatch that than Goblet of Fire.
Really?
Yeah, but the other thing we want to talk about is there's a big internet controversy over this fucking trailer, because there's early on they make a point in the scene of showing a bunch of people apparating to Hogwarts,
which you cannot do.
But that I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I don't know half the characters. I don't know any of the fucking spells. But I know that you can't apparate to Hogwarts. They didn't forget about this during the production of this, the 2-year production of this movie. It's obviously a thing that's going to be addressed. Slow your fucking roll, internet.
That scene very well could be the basis of why you can't apparate into Hogwarts. I agree with you. I think there's a purpose. When I first saw it, I wasn't immediately offended. However, it did immediately pop in my head. You can't operate. No, you can't apparate in Hogwarts. Everyone knows that. But there's no way J.K. Rowling forgot that.
She's got her hands directly on this thing.
Absolutely.
She wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, she wouldn't mess it up.
What's next?
So we wanted to talk about the box office results. I don't know, Black Panther has won 5 straight weekends, so it's just continually being a juggernaut. And just a lot of soft movie openings.
Yeah, I mean, it blew away Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yep. Tomb Raider this week. Last week it beat Wrinkle in Time. The week before that was Red Sparrow. I think, and like I said, the movie to do this was Avatar.
It might be in theaters up until the point when
I think it will.
Infinity War comes out.
Yeah, and I was talking to Hurt, our friend, and he made a good point.
Show.
Yeah, friend of the show, Hurt. He made a good point that Infinity War might have a tough time catching Black Panther, which is crazy.
It's hard for. I get that there was probably a revenue decrease with Age of Ultron. I mean, there was for sure, but I can't imagine.
It probably will. I think it will.
Excited.
Yeah, but Black Panther made some money.
Well, I mean, speaking of ticket sales, it just beat
in
Black
6
Panther.
hours.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's going to have such harder competition.
Hang on, we didn't finish that.
It's going to have such hard competition.
It beat out the pre-sale ticket record, which had just briefly been held by Black Panther. It beat the record in what did you say, 6 hours?
Yeah, beat it in 6 hours. In 6 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Infinity War is gonna make all the goddamn money.
Yeah,
and Black Panther's a big reason for that. People are still excited about the Marvel universe.
Yeah, that's one of my notes. Is they're gonna lean into Black Panther hard, like the marketing.
Oh, definitely.
You see, the poster has Shuri and Okoye way up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the whole third act of the movie I hear is in Wakanda.
And Tomb Raider opens off, and then next week I think Black Panther can win again. I really do. I
What
think
opens
it could
this
beat
weekend?
Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
it'll win this week. It may even win against Ready Player One, unless I think.
I don't know.
No, I think Ready Player because that week it's
They're
Ready
only
Player One. They're
projecting-
saying 50.
I've
but
seen
Pacific Rim.
35,
They're
but-
saying 20, which is not good for.
Yeah, well, Pacific Rim didn't do well.
Well, it made I think it made like 60. It made
Domestically, the first one didn't either. They only got the sequel because of how well it did worldwide.
Yeah, China. That maybe will make money in China. Another piece is Spike Lee directed Inside Job.
Yeah, well, he did Old Boy, the American version of Old Boy.
He Got Game.
Yeah, some classic '90s movies.
I don't even know
what's that?
many Spike Lee
He's
joints.
got
He
that
calls them
new-
joints.
Yeah,
What's he famous?
Gosh.
Like what is?
She's Gotta Have It. It was like an old '90s movie, and then they just remade it into a Netflix show. He's right. He's directed a bunch of crap.
Yeah, but anyway, he's been.
I
around
know.
a
I
lot.
feel like we're
We're doing a disservice to him a little bit.
100%.
there's a time.
Let me
Do the right thing.
I'll give it a goose.
Is that him?
I don't know.
I think so.
Let me give it a goose.
Either way, he's going to direct a new Spider-Verse
well,
movie.
you guys. The news is he's going to direct a Night Watch movie, which is a character in the Spider-Man universe, and it would be under Sony, so it would be with the Venom movie. They're making a Silver and Black movie based on Silver Sable and Black Cat. And he would be part of that. And Night Watch is a character who looks a lot like Spawn.
Yeah,
as
it's
you
like
pointed out.
total ripoff of Spawn.
And it's a time traveling element. I guess
I don't know much
it's
about
an
it.
older version of himself. I don't know. It seems like a trying to cash in on that Black Panther money is what I'm saying. We'll see. I don't know. He doesn't look like an interesting character. I think I'd rather him do a Luke Cage movie.
Well, I mean, Marvel's not going to let him do Luke Cage with the shows. Maybe when the streaming service starts and they move away from the Netflix shows, possibly. But I mean, I don't know the character. I'm not really super big on this whole Spider-Verse without Spider-Man in it anyway. Mm-hmm. Which I've heard there's rumor that could not be true and that Tom Holland might actually be in Venom. And there is a connection, but I don't know. It feels really forced. I feel like Sony eventually is going to end up selling all that stuff back to Marvel.
Oh,
anyway.
definitely.
I would love that. Yeah, I would love Marvel to have everything. He did Malcolm X,
Oh, yeah.
Inside Man, Do the Right Thing, Old Boy. So you guys hit on some of these.
Yeah.
She's Gotta Have It.
Oh, boom.
Nailed
Jungle
it.
Fever. You hit on a bunch of these. 25th Hour, School Days.
He's done a bunch.
He Got Game. Nothing I really. Summer of Sam. We'll see. Hopefully he could do something. And then on the back of that, the director of Wrinkle in Time, her name's Ava. I don't want to butcher it. You guys know how to
Look,
say
we're all going to butcher it.
Yeah.
Ava DuVernay.
I go with Duvernay, but I have no
Duvernay,
idea.
She directed
DuVernay.
Wrinkle in Time, which is the first $100 million movie directed by an African American woman. It did okay. I think it's going to probably make its money back. It didn't do great. I think internationally it'll do better. It just ran into Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good.
No, you go first.
I know for me, one of the reasons I didn't want to see it, I watched the trailer and I have no idea what that movie's about. Like, I'm just it didn't grab me in any way, shape, or form. And I mean, maybe I'm not the target demographic, but I feel like for a movie of that magnitude, the target demographic should be everybody.
Yeah, a fantastical time travel is really kind of what it is. It's time travel mixed with a little bit of fantasy, but it's a novel that is not been touched for a long time because everyone thought it would be extremely hard to make.
That's
into
exactly
a movie.
right.
And I'm sure, I've seen that she does probably as well of a job as possibly could, but the book's just too complicated. Like, it's just not gonna, there's just no way to turn it into a great product. But
It was considered
I wanna see it.
unfilmable by a lot of people for a lot of years.
I mean, so was Lord of the Rings, though, and Peter Jackson owned it.
She took a crack at it, The thing is, she passed on Black Panther for this movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'd be having a little regret
Either way, she's
there.
working for Disney, but I think she's a good choice for New Gods. I mean, she makes
the New
good
Gods.
movies. I like
she's going
Selma.
to direct the DC, and that's under the DC banner.
Correct. Yeah, before Warner Brothers, and I just think I think New Gods is a weird choice for a movie because you have the opportunity to introduce one of the New Gods in Darkseid and Justice League, and you cut him out of the film.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of get Steppenwolf, so you get a somewhat introduction. I would like to see the whole death of the old gods, introduction of the new gods, how Darkseid becomes Darkseid, the creation of Apocalypse, all that stuff. I would like to see in a movie. So I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I really think they're going to start heading towards like one-off movies anyway.
Yeah,
I think they
agree with
realize they can't do this extended thing is fucked up. They're going to blow it up, and I think they just start doing do a Superman, Red Sun. Do a
Maybe not a Red Sun first.
no,
Yeah.
but what's the
Especially
the
not
one
in
that,
this day and age.
the Last Kingdom or the one that hurt
Kingdom
really,
Come?
Yeah, do a Kingdom Come movie.
Yeah,
like,
that's Justice League,
and put them
but,
all
yeah.
in at once. Put three different. Cast it differently. Like, why can't you? The animated movies are so successful as one-offs. You know what I
Right.
mean? Why can't you take that and do it with your live action.
Hell,
And go complete opposite of Marvel. You know what I mean? Put 3 Batmans in a production at once. A Batman Beyond, a Justice League one, and just straight Batman. Like, who cares,
Yeah.
The audience is smart enough to understand. At this point, I think.
I totally agree.
I think that's a good idea.
She's a weird choice for that role, though. I mean, to direct that. And I just think I don't know what you can do with it. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think any of us are like super familiar with a lot of the storylines regarding the New Gods and Apocalypse and Darkseid, at least separate from Superman as far as like their history and stuff. So, I mean, I feel like there probably is a lot there to mine. And because
Darkseid's your main character?
Maybe.
He I don't know if he's the main character, but he is, a new god.
Yeah.
She was asked a while back, maybe doing press for Wrinkle in Time, who her favorite superhero was, if she wanted to make, and she said Big Berta, which is a new god character. So I think Marvel probably approached her about making a movie, and so did DC, and she just said, hey, this is my favorite comic book character. If I'm going to make one, I'm going to make one about these characters. So
yeah, and I definitely think there's a lot to mine there because it's not as much of a well-known quantity. So I feel
work for Guardians,
right? And so she has more ability to be flexible and make it what she wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not dismissing it yet. Let's see what she can do with it.
Yeah,
hopefully
for
she
sure.
can do it. I root for her. I like Selma, so
yeah,
she did a good job at that. Last little bit before we get into the main bit of news we want to talk about before we get into Star Wars is Nick Cage, one of my favorite 90s actors, is going to be the voice of Superman in
Dream
Teen Titans
come
Go.
true for him.
Finally, fulfilling his lifelong dream of being Superman after his failed Tim Burton Superman movie.
Correct.
Yeah. Google the pictures, guys. Google Nick Cage in a Superman costume. It's ridiculous.
I mean, for sure. I'm upset that I don't live in a universe where that movie
I wish it would have happened.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, that would be definitely a train wreck. I don't know much about Teen Titans Go. That's you guys.
Oh, I love
haven't
Teen
watched it.
Titans Go. It's the best. So Teen Titans Go is a spin-off of early 2000s animated series on Cartoon Network that was Teen Titans. They're like, a young group of DC superheroes. That was critically acclaimed. It was kind of Young Justice before Young Justice was Young Justice. And then it got canceled kind of abruptly at kind of the height of its popularity. And then a couple years later, they came out with Teen Titans Go, which is the same characters, the same voice actors, but it's aimed for a much younger audience. It's like very goofy, zany, like physical comedy kind of stuff. And it's like way out there. Like it's super goofy. It's very clever, but the people who liked the kind of the maturity of the original Teen Titans hate it. I mean, like the IMDb page for Teen Titans Go is like it's like a 1.5 out of 10.
Oh my gosh!
It's torn down.
And that's the one they're doing, the new one.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. But
Teen Titans Go to the movies.
yeah, and so Teen Titans Go is kind of the perfect avenue for this because they're really good at throwing in like Easter eggs and things for people who are fans of the DC universe and the behind the scenes thing. So casting Nick Cage is not just because they wanted Nick Cage, but specifically because of the Superman movie, and they know that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make a joke about it.
No, it's 100% what it's about.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna make a joke about it.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna see the movie solely for this reason.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
really
watch
care,
it.
but
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see. I don't know I don't know if they've cast any of the other voices.
they did for Green Lantern and Wonder Woman.
Anyone we know?
I don't remember who they were.
Nathan Fillion, maybe.
No, they were like singers.
Interesting.
But I don't know who it was.
Well, while we're talking about the next topic, I'll look into it. So the last thing we want to talk about, and the big news, which I have to admit I was super fucking excited about, was the Avengers Infinity War trailer dropped 2 days ago.
The final
Friday,
one.
Yeah. God, it's so good.
Yeah, it's the best. I've watched it at least 15 times.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. I'll let Jones. I'll let you start off. What are your initial thoughts? Anything you want to talk about? I mean, there's so many things that come to mind.
There was actually a lot of Infinity War news this week. There was a Entertainment Weekly special on it on Tuesday, and then there have been a lot of interviews come out, set visits and stuff like that to go along with the trailer. And when you kind of take in all that extra information, I think it even makes the trailer better. Like, for example, when asked who the main character of the movie is, because you have like 42 characters in this movie, the Russo brothers say Thanos. That Thanos is basically the driving force of the film, and that he's in most of the scenes, and he's the thing that brings everybody together. And I think that's evident in the trailer. You see kind of the destruction of the Asgard characters, and Loki giving him the Cosmic Cube, and you see him in Wakanda, and you see him interact with a bunch of different people. The two things that were my favorite moments in the trailer, the Cap Thanos like little tidbit
so
of
cool.
fight you get is great. and I loved the humor. The Star-Lord Iron Man bit is perfect, exactly how I imagine those two characters interacting, and the Spider-Man Doctor Strange bit at the end. If that's the kind of humor I'm going to get in this movie, I am all about it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange Spider-Man one was really great to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was really good. I think it gives away, a lot if you kind of look at.
I don't know. I still feel like I don't know. Well, I feel like they do an intentional job of putting the three. You got your Cap, Iron Man, and Thor, and they're all shown in very compromising positions with Thanos.
Well, I think from what I saw is like the scene, like Thor looks like right off the bat. I think Thanos is going to attack that ship. Like,
I agree. Well, that's how Ragnarok ends.
Yeah, and it looks like he's shattering the Tesseract at one point.
Yeah,
and then he puts it in there,
inside it.
and that's when it looks like. I bet you because you see the Gamora flashback scene in there. We're seeing. I think all the Asgardians are going to die. And I think that scene where it looks like she's talking about how Thanos can do this, snap his fingers, in the beginning, I think she's talking to Thor.
Yes.
And she's probably going to relay that story to console him, because I think every single Asgardian, except maybe like Thor and Loki, are going to die. And I definitely think it looks like Thor's going to get a new axe. I think he's going to get the battle axe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he will.
Stormbringer.
He'll also get his eye back.
And I think from what it looks like to me, it's going to have a Return of the Jedi kind of format. I think they're going to split up the heroes, and they're all going to protect a MacGuffin. And I think it looks like Cap's team's in Wakanda protecting Vision, and that's like Hulk and all them. And then I think Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, and Thanos, I think, are protecting the Time Stone somehow. They're doing their own thing. And then whatever Groot, Gamora, Thor, and Rocket are doing. Yeah, I think they're going to be the Reality Stone. They're going to have to go see the Collector. They're going to go to deep space.
Well, I thought where is the Reality Stone? That's the red one, right?
Yeah, it's with the Collector.
Oh, it is still with the Collector?
Yeah.
And I think
there's one with the Nova Corps.
Yep, and I think from what it looks like, he has the Power Stone early.
Yeah.
I think the opening of the movie is like him rolling through Xandar.
Could
Thanos,
be.
Which would be super cool.
That would be really cool.
Killing like Glenn Coast or something,
Yeah.
Nova Prime.
Prime, yeah.
I think that would be cool, but the Black Order that they showed, I thought the makeup looked good. Thanos looks good.
Yeah, that scene with and I don't know if they're actually side by side, but it looks that way in the trailer. Is Doctor Strange is getting attacked, and I can't remember which one of the member of the Black Order it is.
Ebony Maw.
Is Ebony Maw?
Yeah.
And he puts his finger up and says,
Yep.
He looked incredible,
really good.
And
I read in the comic books, he also is the one who goes after Doctor Strange.
Okay.
You can tell as special effects shots are getting finished. They're adding more in these trailers, and this is probably the first one that really had a bunch of new stuff. I think the first and the second trailer both were pretty similar.
Yeah.
This one was drastically different. I get where you're going with a lot of that stuff, Ian. I kind of disagree. I don't think there's a ton revealed. I mean, I still believe by the end of this movie, the original team of Avengers will be united. And Thor, we have no idea when he's going to come to Earth. Curious to see how Hulk makes it back, because we last see him with... And obviously he's going to go through the attack.
It looks like
Thanos.
to me like Hulk's definitely he can't be. It looks to me like he definitely can't be Hulk in the movie for some reason.
Oh, he definitely. You see Hulk running with the Wakandans.
Really, at some point. See, I think.
I mean, he's gonna come out, but I
think in the beginning he doesn't want to be Hulk. I think he's in that Hulk busting Iron Man. outfit.
He's for sure in Hulk.
Yeah, and I would love to see him Hulk out of that.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, Hulk busts out of the Hulk buster.
I think I liked how they were doing combo powers, where Doctor Strange was throwing the magic disc out and Star-Lord was jumping.
Yeah.
I want to see a lot of combo powers.
Yeah, I hope they do that.
Combo powers are cool.
They're really banking off Spider-Man, too. There's a ton of Spider-Man in that trailer.
I mean, Spider-Man's fucking awesome. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Ian's theory of the different times, or the different stones being with different teams, I want to go back to a theory that we posited on the show about the Soul Stone being in Wakanda and being the thing that powers the
heart-shaped herb.
The heart-shaped herb. Because while I still think that's a good theory, and I think that's kind of like a good protecting Vision is a good red herring for like why they're actually there, which is to get the Soul Stone from Wakanda. There's also been rampant speculation on the internet now that the posters and everything are out that have the Infinity Stones on them. Marvel's been pretty consistent on their color schemes for using the color schemes with the stones with what they're going for. And the Soul Stone is like an amber color. And a lot of people are making the claim or the theory that Heimdall is the source of his power, his ability to see things that nobody else can see, is because he either contains or is powered or whatever by the Soul Stone.
I could see it.
I could totally see it also.
You're right, though. The heart-shaped bear is purple, so that makes me think it wouldn't be that.
Right.
Yep.
But it could be at the vibranium. That was like a green color. But you're saying it's amber, huh? Yeah, I think it's going to be good. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested. I liked how Iron Man had that rocket booster.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was real
cool.
Like
a jet turbo engine mermaid.
Yeah, it looks like that. I want to see him with like space armor.
I mean, 100%. This movie's going to do the exact same thing as that Civil War did, in that there's just going to be at least 8 or 9 moments in the film where you're just like nerding out to like the highest degree. Of, like when Spider-Man steals the shield, or whatever, those kind of moments. I think exactly.
It's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be like that Game of Thrones season where they just rewarded fans the entire time.
Absolutely, there's gonna be a lot of that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that.
I also heard this week that the characters in this movie that are downplayed are going to be the main characters in 4. So I kind of I think 2 weeks ago we were talking about it, and I said I didn't think there would be a lot of deaths in this one. I'm kind of starting to backtrack from that, and that I do think it could be very likely that Cap dies in this film.
I think, yeah.
It honestly, it could be all 3. We'll find out.
Yeah. I don't think Iron Man dies in this one.
Like I said, they got to keep a couple alive, because I think, like I said, my thing is the next one's going to be a time-traveling adventure. I'm sticking to that. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, I like the Black Order guys. I think they all looked really cool in that one shot. And I think they're all going to be having their own skill set to target each Power Stone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of like the fact that I don't really know what they are or what they can do, because I think that'll be a fun thing to find out in the movie.
The only other thing
I have one more thing.
Peter Dinklage was confirmed to be in the movie.
He's on the poster listed in the credits.
He could have something to do with the Soul Stone, potentially. Maybe it's something exterior to Earth. You know what I mean?
Rumor is that he could play Pip, or that he is one of the
Watchers, right?
Black Order guys. Oh, yeah, maybe one of those.
Oh, he could be Black. Maybe he's like a CGI character.
Yeah. I'm sure he's a CGI character.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got anything else on there? Oh, my last thing is Hawkeye. So Hawkeye's not on any of the promotional stuff. I read that he's going to go on a solo adventure.
Yeah.
Speculation on what he's going to be doing, and then also Ant-Man and Wasp not being in there at all.
I think all 3 of them are going to be almost the main characters in 4.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. The only other thing I was just looking at our notes, we got they released the runtime for Avengers Infinity War, and it's the longest one so far. It's going to be just coming in at just under 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty close to Last Jedi, I think, in length. So,
but hopefully it'll go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a great segue.
That is a great segue.
Professionally done. And we were going to talk about whether Last Jedi is better or worse than Transformers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Last Jedi picks up immediately after The Force Awakens, with Rey arriving on Octu, where she gives Luke Skywalker Anakin's lightsaber. Basically, for the majority of the movie for them is him training her kind of Yoda Luke style on Dagobah, but this time on Octu with bird nuns. There are really 2 other plot lines in this movie. There's Poe, Holdo, Leia, and them battling the First Order, and then you have Finn, new character Rose, and their kind of attempt to help that storyline, but they kind of go off on their own, and it all leads to a large battle sequence between all the parties unite on the planet Crate, where we kind of have a last stand of the First Order. The Resistance. Against the First Order. I think we should start off. This is a very divisive film. We should probably start off with things we like. Also, from here on out, there will be a shit ton of spoilers.
Absolutely.
There's no way to talk about this
Everyone's
movie.
seen this movie by now, I'm sure. If you haven't, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast, probably.
Yeah. So
it's definitely worth watching. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Come back and listen to this podcast.
It's a Star Wars movie.
How can you not?
If you would have told me 10 years ago I could have a Star Wars movie every year.
Hey, in this case, you're getting one in every 5 months.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a little saturation, but keep going.
So, Ian, what did you think? What were things you liked about this film? Don't go into negatives quite yet.
Number one that's always going to come to my mind, and the reason I think I walk out of this with a positive view is Kylo Ren, Adam Driver. I think he just completely nails that role. I'll always say if he would have been Anakin Skywalker in the prequels, that character would have worked so much better.
Absolutely true.
He nails Anakin Skywalker.
You know what's funny is I think all three of us are in agreement on this, that that Adam Driver's Kylo Ren is one of the best parts of the new films.
Yep. Yeah.
But people hate him.
I know.
They hate him, and I don't get it. How can you defend Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker and then shit on the guy who's a better Anakin Skywalker?
He's so good at being an Anakin. And that's what he's doing. He's playing Anakin Skywalker pretty much, but he's just an evil version.
Right. And I think the reason that he gets a lot of shit on social media, whatever, is that.
Does he get a lot of shit?
Oh no,
he's man.
very.
I didn't know that.
I don't even know if he's hated. He's mocked very mercilessly.
Well, he's odd looking.
Well, he is odd looking, but I mean,
he looks like Anakin to me. Like
yeah,
he does
but he's
look
a great
like,
actor.
Yeah.
He is a great actor, and I feel like the fault I'm using quotations for that he has is that like he displays an emotional range. He's not like fully confident in his abilities, and he wavers, and he feels anger and sadness, and you know, like there's a wide swath of emotions he covers besides just like, I don't know, being evil.
I hate sand.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I hate sand, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that he gets mocked for. You know, there's the emo Kylo Ren Twitter out there, which is actually very funny if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, emo Kylo Ren is worth a follow on Twitter.
Absolutely. But I also think that's what makes him such a compelling character, is because he is, I mean, to me, he's the most identifiable character in this movie. I feel very connected to like his journey as a character.
I wish he was the main character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, he kind of is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I think he should be the main character. He's just so much more. He's just so interesting, you know. And when him and Ray are in the scenes together, he just blows her out of the water.
Those are the best parts.
They are the best parts.
Because Daisy Ridley, and not to go too much into, because this kind of teeters on negative for me, but Luke Skywalker in the originals had to be the ultimate good guy all the time. And unfortunately, I think Daisy Ridley kind of, as Rey, has the same problem. Like, she has to be an endless supply of hope all the time. And Kylo is not that. Kylo is like, hey, my parents were kind of assholes, my uncle was an asshole, and I have something inside of me I don't understand and I can't control. And the interactions between those two and them having those conversations they're so good. Those
so
two
good.
Kill it.
Yeah, I think that scene with Ray, talking about Ray and Kylo Ren, that's my favorite action scene in a Star Wars movie.
Snoke.
Yeah, is the Snoke scene with
the throne room scene.
Yeah, with the Praetorium guards. It's just really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's just lightsaber fighting at its best.
Joseph, what did you like?
You know, there are a lot of things I like. Again, it was also kind of a divisive performance for whatever reason, but I really liked Mark Hamill back as Luke. I thought, again, for his first face acting role in a long time, and I thought he nailed it. I thought he was very entertaining and funny.
Yeah, he got the Obi-Wan on Tatooine kind of nomad. He got that down
it was kind
very
of,
well.
Yeah, it was kind of like I don't know, it was a mixture of like asshole Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Yeah.
In between, because he's definitely grumpy and jaded, but he also like kind of wants to help and be a mentor. I would have. This movie is way too long, but if there was more runtime, I would love for it to be more on Luke and Ray and just, I don't know, Luke hermiting around on Octu. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, for me, most of it we talked about already. Kylo is great. Ray is great. Luke is great. You know, the thing about Mark Hamill that's so interesting is if you like animated things or you play video games, for a long time you've known Mark Hamill's a great actor. But if you were exclusively going off of face performances, you probably wouldn't realize that. And he freaking kills it in this movie. I enjoyed the whole third act of the film, to me, starting with the throne room scene and probably excluding the Finn Phasma part. Everything. I enjoyed the battle on Crate. I think the special effects are great. I think it's really, I think it's a really beautiful film. There's good use of colors that you don't really see in Star Wars very often. There are pieces of this film that I think would qualify it to be the best Star Wars movie ever made. The problem is there are pieces of the film that make it one of the worst Star Wars movies ever made. So when it's good, it is very good.
Yeah.
But that's probably a good transition into what we did.
Well, I actually, one of the other things I wanted to talk about before we moved on is one of the things I think it nailed that it didn't get credit for, or I don't know.
Puppet Yoda. That's another thing I love.
Puppet Yoda's pretty
Yoda
good.
was cool.
I thought it really nailed the humor, like at the right level. It was that good, like wholesome, good-hearted humor. It wasn't like it wasn't.
Did you like them starting a movie off with a joke?
It's
the one where he's talking to General Hux on the radio.
Poe's talking to Hux. I don't really care for either of those characters, so I didn't like it.
I thought that was a very odd choice to start the movie, to open.
I don't have a tremendous problem with it, but I can see
weird tone.
I can see your point. But I like the whole Chewie roasting the porg thing, the Luke in the green milk.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of humor I thought was really good. It was really funny, and I don't know, it really worked for me.
I even dug him chunking the lightsaber.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Especially after 2 years of build up, waiting for him to actually grab it, and for him to just be like, oh. Yeah, this old piece of shit.
Now that's a great transition into some of the things that, again,
I do want to say one thing on the humor before we continue.
Sure.
Yeah. This is something that a lot of people shit on online that I don't understand. It's like they forget that there are jokes in Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Like every time a new Star Wars movie comes out and they're like, oh, there was just too many jokes. Like, what the frick were you watching?
Yeah.
The prequel movies are filled with R2-D2 making, tripping over shit and squilling at wrong times and doing dumb things. In the original series, it's very lighthearted in tone. So I don't understand the complaint in being humorous. And I like in this movie that their jokes are kind of gaggy. Like the green milk is a perfect example. Like it's not necessarily out a joke. It's just a funny, awkward moment that plays really well. I think the humor is, like you talking about, it's great and it's well timed and there's a good balance of it. There's a good amount. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. So before we move on from the things we really liked about it, I want to say that overall I feel like I had a positive experience with this movie upon reflection. But I feel like just because I'm a big fan of the franchise, I know everybody here is a big fan of Star Wars. Who isn't a big fan of Star Wars? That we all kind of have feelings about things that we would want to be improved about it. Yeah. So despite the fact that it's going to sound like probably in the next 5 minutes that we hate this movie, I don't hate this movie. I just have things that I feel like could be improved on.
Agreed. It took me 3 days to really like it, but I had to think about it first. But I do think it's a good movie. I think
it's slow.
Well, that's definitely too long.
Yeah, it's slow and too long, but it's good. It's not my favorite, but yeah, it's good.
I would argue that the whole sequence on Crate does not need to happen. I understand that's where
Canto Blight or Crate?
Crate. That's the planet at the end, right?
Yeah, Crate. Yeah. Okay.
I would argue that whole sequence could have been put off for another thing. I know it's an important finishing of the Luke arc, and that's like a big bit of it. But I think you could have cut it off as kind of in. It's bad to call the second one in the series like an Empire Strikes Back, but Empire Strikes Back kind of leaves on unresolved note. It's kind of like
it does.
Instead of like a resolution, it's kind of like the heroes get a breath, and that's I feel like once they're escaping from the ship, that's kind of what that moment is. And so I feel like there was a way to end it around that area that we would have cut 30 minutes off of the film, and it
would have been real slow then.
I mean, that's super fair.
Yeah, that's a lot where a lot of the excitement happens.
Yeah,
I enjoy the bit on Crate, but I see what you're saying.
I would not have cut the Crate part out.
I would have cut the Canto Blight.
Yeah, I would have. cut, you could have cut Canto Blight. Save that 30 minutes.
Well, that's the one of the other main problems I feel like is the basic impetus for like why 2/3 of the movie happens is the dumbest thing I can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
I mean
Finn's plan and Rose. I mean, it's just an awful plan. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't even mean that.
They don't even know. I hate how they shoehand Maz Kanata.
Kanata, yeah.
And like their whole thing is like on the wheel spinning. Like they don't even know who the code breaker is at first, and they're
right.
Justin Theroux for
2 seconds.
Yeah,
it's just bad writing, and then things happen. Coincidentally that shouldn't happen, and it should have been fucking Lando.
It's not even so much that I dislike that part. I think it's like what you're talking about. Are you saying simply the like ship slowly escaping?
Yeah, I think that is the dumbest premise for this is the reason this story is happening. This is the exciting thing we're supposed to be watching for our 2.5 hours is two ships moving literally like as slow as they possibly can without like hitting each other.
Yeah,
and then that's not a reason.
That's what I mean. That shouldn't have gotten off the storyboard. Like that not what you base your script around.
No.
It's not a good base idea.
I think that's probably the biggest issue for me with the Canto Bight stuff is, well, that and originally Poe was supposed to die in Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, yeah.
And I definitely think that should have happened. And I realize he doesn't do the whole storyline with Canto Bight. I realize that's Finn. But Finn's story would matter more to me if Poe isn't there.
Agreed.
Poe and Finn go in the exact same character arc in this film, which is neither of them know how to be a hero. Well, Finn doesn't know how to be a hero, and Poe doesn't know how to be a leader. And they play out very similarly. They both have this task that they don't quite accomplish correctly, and there's mass failure, and someone else has to save them in the end. In Finn's case, it's Rose and really Rey, and in Poe's case, it's Holdo and Rey. And fine, if you want to tell me that story, okay, I'm fine with it, but give me one character. Don't give me an hour and a half of a movie split up in two 45-minute sections on two different characters telling me the exact same story. And neither of them have resolution. Neither of them have resolution in a way that is satisfying. At the end of the day, Rey is the one who does all this shit, and Poe and Finn just happen to learn a moral lesson.
Finn just fucks up and gets a lot of people killed.
Yeah,
It's his plan.
Poe fucks up and gets a lot.
Poe's
fucks
worse.
up.
Yeah.
And realistically, Poe's existence in the series is the fault of Oscar Isaacs for being too damn charming and handsome to kill off in the first movie.
Poe has no purpose in these
He has
films.
no purpose in this film.
He doesn't. He has nothing to do in any of the movies.
Yeah, he doesn't have really a purpose in the first one either.
No, I mean, he just does the Luke Skywalker kill the thing, but anyone, another pilot could have done that. He's just a good pilot.
And this is, I think, Poe is a really good example of what the difference in Star Wars fans and why some people like this movie and some people don't. And I met a lot of people who love the character of Poe, love it, and they're like, "It's a Han Solo. He's Han Solo in this one." And I'm like, "I don't need Han Solo in this one. I fucking have Han Solo.
Yeah.
I don't need
100%.
this character." And they crap on Finn or Rose, and I you know what? I'm not the biggest fan of either of those characters either.
I don't like
but
Rose.
I think they have more of a purpose in the overall story of Star Wars than Poe does.
Mm-hmm.
Finn's character arc as this stormtrooper gone good, I think, is interesting. I think Rose is Rian Johnson in this movie. Rose's story is what Rian Johnson wanted to tell you, and he couldn't do it through the three established characters JJ made, so he made his own. And he was like, "This is the morals. This is the lesson I want to learn. Whatever is going to be told through this character." And so I can understand her purpose. Doesn't mean I love her, and I can get why a lot of people really dislike her, but I understand why she's there. Poe, I have no fucking excuse for. I don't get it.
And I feel like
Huck should have blown him out of the sky in that opening scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he didn't have no purpose. But I think Finn, I feel like Ryan felt like he had to use Finn, and he had to use.
I don't hate using Finn.
And he had to use Rose, and I feel like he didn't know what to do with him in that, and definitely in the second movie, and he sends him on his little side adventure.
Well, Rose isn't in the first one. Rose is purely a creation.
Yeah,
of Rian
you're right.
Johnson.
No, but Finn, Rose was created because he didn't know what to do with Finn, and he needed because Rey was off doing her own thing, and at least he had already gotten the main plot. With Poe, Finn goes on this adventure that goes nowhere. They're unsuccessful all the way through. It's very prequel-y. I think that's why I don't like it. The whole Canto Blight thing feels prequel-y. The CGI with those horses, it doesn't look great.
The CGI is not great on those
horses.
horses.
You know what I mean? And jumping through the knocking things through, it just felt very much like number 2 Attack of the Clones and the Gladiator. It was that kind of CGI.
I mean, I actually like the number 2 Attack of the Clones.
I like that
Gladiator
scene. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't feel good. I didn't like that part, and I just felt like you said, it's definitely too long, and there's not a lot of lightsabering.
There's not that's actually a good point.
There is not a lot of lightsabering in that movie. Cut some of that out and give me some more lightsabers.
I would say as far as the Canto, is it Canto Bight or is it Canto Bight?
I think it's Canto Bight.
Canto Bight. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I think part of the reason we hate it, besides it is prequel-y in style. I don't think that's necessarily to its disservice, but it is. It's a thin premise for being there in the first place, and then it doesn't pay off to anything at the end.
No.
And for sure, Benicio del Toro's character should have been Lando.
Yep. He's wasted. And even if it was Lando, I'd have felt like Lando was wasted. That character just didn't do a lot.
It would have made more sense to me for it to be Lando, because then at least at that point it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You included Lando.
100%.
The issue with it not being Lando is that his purpose is the exact same purpose as Lando in Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
And so for have Lando do it twice feels really forced.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why Lando should not be at the casino at Canto Bight.
Right.
I don't think he has to be Benicio del Toro's character, but I definitely think he could have at least been featured in that moment. He could have been Justin Theroux. Yeah. There's no reason to have Justin Theroux in that moment. I don't dislike the Canto Bight stuff, again, because I feel like the Canto Bight and Rose are the things Rian Johnson wants to do. He wants to tell this kind of lesson learned, I'm going to teach you some morals in a Star Wars movie thing, and I'm okay with that. My problem is, not that you forced it in Episode 8, but if you want to make those movies in the Star Wars universe, make your own movies. You know what I mean? Like, don't make it a trilogy.
Which he is, apparently.
Don't make it like a trilogy movie.
Well, don't make it a part of the series. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels so drastically different than everything else in Star Wars. And again, it's not that I think it's necessarily bad. It's just that I think if Kathleen Kennedy said, hey, we want you to make Episode 8, and he's like, okay, well, I'll do 3/4 of the movie you guys want me to make, and then I'm going to make 1/4 of a movie I want to make, and that was the agreement they came upon, I would have been like, no, fuck you. We're going to find a guy who wants to make 4/4 of a movie we want to make.
Yep.
That's my problem with it.
And I think that speaks to what I think we're finding a bunch of smaller symptoms of what we think is the problem with this movie. And I think the overarching problem is exactly what you're talking about, is just the context that this movie is placed in. Because by itself, like if you had no other movies to base it off of, one, it would be kind of confusing. But it would probably stand up a little bit better on its own. But the context of it is important. One, the history of the original trilogy compared to the prequels, and then most importantly, The Force Awakens and this new trilogy that it's a part of. The problem really is that there was never really a plan for like a whole trilogy. Even as they were writing the first of the new trilogy, they didn't have a plan for where these characters were going, where these arcs were going. So it was a handoff from J.J. Abrams, who is famous for starting things and not finishing them.
Yeah.
Not in the same way as Guillermo del Toro, as far as like piquing your curiosity and then never satisfying it. And then handing it off to Rian Johnson, who, as you said, was willing to play ball somewhat with the studio, but also wanted to kind of infuse what he thought should be in the story, even if it didn't really fit.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really what's the biggest problem with this, is that, we're following the story from the character's perspective. And so to come at it from Force Awakens to this movie, it's such like a dramatic shift as far as like what the characters are doing, what like the whole story is doing. And we, as people who follow the industry, we know that's because of all these different things, of a new director, of a different writer, of all these things. But from a story standpoint, it just doesn't make any sense. And I think that's one of the big reasons it feels so unsatisfying.
That plays into, I think, another thing that really upset fans is you talk about like him making his own choices and the history of Star Wars. And this movie does everything it can to flip the history of Star Wars on its head.
For sure.
Snoke being a prime example. People wanted another Emperor character, and I think Rian Johnson gave them one, but he gave them Kylo Ren. And I personally am excited about that opportunity.
Oh, actually, hang on. One more good thing that I want to throw in there before you keep going. It was a great decision in this movie?
What is that?
Taking off the mask for Kylo Ren.
Yes.
And keeping that off. That was a great decision.
Good call.
Carry on.
I thought of one more good thing I wanted to say. Luke's ending, whether, people are upset, whether he just disappears in the Force or not, the fact that dude dies staring at binary suns is like the most beautiful, like, tribute to the original Star Wars film absolutely possible, in my opinion. Luke's journey starts by staring at binary suns, and then it ends by staring at binary suns, and I freaking love it.
It's just like Jack.
Yeah.
I was a fan of Porgs. I like them. I like them more than Ewoks and Jar Jar.
Okay, I do enjoy them more than Ewoks and Jar Jar Binks.
I see you can keep going.
Gungans, that was the thing. I was thinking,
Gungans, yeah.
Boss Nass.
Yeah.
So
took the Unabunga.
That was good.
But I don't know. The problem with the Luke death for me drove me crazy, just because it was a death by plot convenience, because it was like, okay, Luke did this thing.
We don't know what to do with him now.
Even though there's no reason for him to die, it's just like, we don't have any place for him anymore, so he's just got to disappear into the Force, because that makes it easier for the next writer.
I didn't like
People
that
didn't complain that when it happens to Yoda. And Luke was actually doing something that exerted himself.
Well, yeah, but Yoda's like 30,000 years old.
That's a good point.
I mean,
Yoda just
been done before. That makes me feel better about it.
It's a precedence.
That's what I'm saying.
Did he just like force really hard and then it's like, oh, I just don't got it anymore?
Yeah, man, he forced himself into
but he didn't force himself out of existence enough to like just immediately phase out. He like falls off the thing after after he does the force projection, he falls off the rock and then he climbs back on and then he fucking disappears.
Yeah.
There's like a delayed, I don't know, it fucking drives me crazy.
I thought about the in Clone Wars when Qui-Gon's talking about the difference between the living force and all that shit. So, I don't know, it kind of harked back to me both because we already have a precedence for it with Yoda, but if you haven't watched Clone Wars, you should, because it gives you a lot of exposition on this shit. You know, how the Force balances out and why something like that could occur. So I guess I was more on board with it than other people, but I really dug the binary sun part. But
no, that's fair. It's a beautiful scene. I just think
I think we get some Force Ghost Luke and some
for
Force.
sure.
He will for sure.
I want to see some Force Ghost Anakin in this next one. Because Kylo Ren, it'll be his devil and angel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of that, I think.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't think that I'm not saying that Luke didn't need to die, because I think he did need to die. I just think they needed to again have a better story contrivance for him to die.
I agree. It was just weird. It was a weird way to have him just kind of evaporate, but it was okay, but it wouldn't have been my choice. I think he should have, I would have liked it if he actually, I mean, I like the choice, the hologram, but...
Oh, no, like, that's one of the coolest uses of Force scenes. I mean, it's definitely the coolest scene.
But that was totally like...
That's better than the Praetorian
Hey, we have
Guard
this cool ending, and we need Luke to go here, but we don't know how to connect them. And they just kind of were like, we'll just evaporate him. You know, it's like they didn't have a way to bridge those two things.
I'm really upset.
I bought it.
Yeah, I'm really upset that I didn't even like notice that the Luke that appears like on Crate is like dramatically different looking than the one that we saw on Octu.
Oh, I noticed.
Because I was just like, he looks a little bit more cleaned up, but I mean, he looks way different.
Yeah,
like,
he looks way younger.
Yeah.
I heard that, there were really two reasons for that. Is number one, because that's how Kylo would remember him. That's the last time Kylo saw him.
I like to think it's just vanity.
Yeah. Well, then the other thing is that Luke hasn't like seen himself in forever. Like, when's the last time Luke Skywalker looked in a fucking mirror?
Yeah.
Like, that's what he
how
remembers himself.
Yeah. Kylo's an idiot, though, because he knows he just blew up that fucking lightsaber. Him and Rey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I actually really dug that. Like, they both, just like...
I don't know. I think for the Kylo, he seeing Luke is just such like an emotional it's a visceral reaction for him.
Yeah.
He's immediately just enraged to the point where he can't even pay attention to the details. Like, hey, shouldn't this guy look different since nobody's seen him in 20 years?
Yeah.
Some of the things I didn't like how they had to. I feel like they shoehorned in Captain Phasma and Maz Kanata, and that's totally Disney being like, "Hey, merchandise. I want these people in the whole trilogy," and they didn't really have a point, especially Maz Kanata. Like, they just literally called her for 1 second. You know what I mean? Like, Finn didn't even know her.
The Maz Kanata is a character in Force Awakens that I don't like, that I didn't care for. My hope is you only include her in this movie because she's going to have a bigger role in Episode 9, and I think she will with JJ coming back, because that's obviously one of his creations.
People. Yep. And Phasma is just totally, like I said, just nothing to it. You know?
I don't think Phasma necessarily as much as a cash grab by Disney, like you say it is, as much as it's supposed to be this Boba Fett. It's supposed to be this generation's Boba Fett, and Captain Phasma gets a lot of shit to me from people who are like, well, she doesn't do anything. What point does she serve and all that stuff? Boba Fett doesn't do jack squat.
I know. That's a good point.
It just looks
definitely,
cool.
Definitely the new Boba Fett.
And it's the same thing. And again, Boba Fett, and I if you're a fan of the expanded universe, yes, Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit and all that stuff. But for all we know, when you watch Return of the Jedi the first time, Boba Fett delivers Han Solo and Carbonite to Jabba, and then he gets fucking knocked off into the Sarlacc pit. Those are the two things he does. He has like 2 lines.
Does he have a Wilhelm scream when he falls into the pit? I can't remember.
I think he does.
I think he does too.
I think he does.
But what the fuck how's that different than Phasma?
Yeah.
People are just pickier now, I think.
It definitely is a cash grab, in the sense that I don't remember if it was you telling me or somebody was telling me that like Captain Phasma is like the showstopper for like
in Disney.
Yeah, like in Disney, like in parks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's cool, and that's a cool way to anchor your nameless stormtroopers. That's what they needed. Well, they needed someone who wasn't like a super high powerful Force person who could anchor all these stormtroopers they have marching around everywhere.
It also makes a good connection to, like we're talking about with the parks, and especially with the new Star Wars park that's coming out. It's a good anchor to like the real world, as far as it's kind of an ancillary character, but it's still one that you like recognize that are kind of excited about.
That's true. I also think the ships they introduce were kind of hit and miss. Like, I didn't like the Snoke ship that's chasing the Mega Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like old school Star Wars. Like, that stuff's been in the
Oh, that's a known thing?
yeah.
Oh, I thought that was made up.
No, that's like
I like the bomber though from the beginning. How those things, I thought they were shaped pretty.
See,
cool.
that's the thing I hate. That's the ship I hated the least.
Really?
It's fucking space. You tell me you got to fly over with a bomber like it's World War II.
I thought that was cool though because they're kind of ragtag. That's all they would
moving
have.
like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was a little. It
I
was
hated
ridiculous.
that bit.
Then the Mega Star Destroyer. What else did they introduce?
Well,
The Dreadnought. The Dreadnought class.
Yeah.
So Dreadnought is old school expanding universe Star Wars. Yeah. Admiral Thrawn had a Dreadnought.
But as far as nonsensical spacecraft and space maneuvers, I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't cover the Holdo maneuver, at least briefly.
I like there's no sound.
Because I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy who's like nitpicking shit in the Star Wars a series about space wizards and laser swords.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
The space bullet, does it get to you though? Like
Right. But for whatever reason, I don't have a problem with using like hyperspace, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
It's a good plot convenience to get from point A to point B to escape from whatever. Like it works for it. But to use that as a weapon, so the Holdo maneuver, as it's been referred to now, is 2/3 into the movie when Captain Holdo kamikazes her ship at hyperspeed into the
Dreadnought class.
The Dreadnought class destroyer, and it fucking destroys everything, right? And this is the first time we've ever seen anyone do anything like this. I don't know about the extended universe, but definitely on film. And again, it's a cool scene. It's like beautifully shot. They like cut all the sound out for it. It's really neat, but it doesn't make any fucking sense in context with anything else.
Yeah.
There would have been no Clone Wars in the original prequels because you just shoot fucking droids because they don't need air in fucking space at hyperspeed. It doesn't make any
That's all General Grievous would have done.
And that's right. And so that's like I don't have a problem with
You're that guy.
I don't have a problem with yeah, wait, I am. I'm being that guy right now. It's fine. It wouldn't be a problem if like some nerd on the internet was like, "Hey, what happens if you shoot a hyperspace ship at another ship or at a planet or whatever?" Like that's fine. But you've brought this to our attention as the viewer. So like this is like I don't know.
You could have done this to the Death Star and it would never have been a problem.
So like if you don't bring it to our attention, I think that's fine. If you just ignore it, I think it's fine to hypothesize on it, whatever. But because you've brought this attention and you've clearly stated like what happens here in this particular circumstance, then it totally negates all the shit that's happened in the past. It just makes it so much more nonsensical. It drives me fucking crazy.
It's a cool scene, but it makes no sense.
But
I don't know. I walk away from the movie really enjoying bits that other people disliked, which is weird to me. And probably true for Force Awakens as well. Like the things I liked, other people disliked. And the filter that any Star Wars movie comes out for me, really, that I run it through is I fucking hate the prequels. Like I watch them, and I watch them probably twice or more a year because I love Star Wars. I dearly love Star Wars. But the writing is so bad, the acting is so bad, and the only really, truly good thing is Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. You get Ewan McGregor for 3 fucking movies, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think all 3 Star Wars movies we've had since Disney bought Star Wars, Rogue One, Force Awakens, and Last Jedi, all 3 are better than the prequel movies. And I feel like because maybe I grew up in a home that we watched a lot of old things, like I didn't watch a lot of like television other people watch. So I saw the original series at a very young age, well before the prequels had come out. And I feel like the difference I have with people is those people, there are a lot of people who saw the prequels first, and that's what they connect with Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And so when they see this movie, they see Last Jedi, it feels very different. Mm-hmm. from the prequel films. And so that's why they dislike it so much. But I walk away from it very excited where Star Wars can go because I like that Rian Johnson kind of turned some of the tropes on its head. I like that Snoke there's not an Emperor character. I like that Kylo we don't know the kind of villain we're going to get in Episode 9. And that's really refreshing. You knew Palpatine was coming in Episode 3. You knew the Emperor was coming in Episode 6. So I'm excited about the villain. I'm glad that we have a hero in Rey. Not that I dislike the Skywalker lineage bit. I'm glad that there's a hero that isn't a Skywalker. I've attested before that Obi-Wan should be the hero of the prequel films. We did say earlier about Kylo being the main character. If this is a Skywalker saga, he's the Skywalker. being, Leia's kid. And they're just, I dug the opportunity that hopefully JJ can make a film that is not a total ripoff of Return of the Jedi, that's new and different and fresh, because I think Rian Johnson bit the bullet and gave us an opportunity to have original ideas in Star Wars.
I have no confidence in JJ's ability to do anything
Me
new.
neither.
But,
Correct.
I like your optimism.
No, I'm not saying he has the talent. I'm just saying that's what I want him to do.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to talk about speculating, what we think number 9 goes? I mean, I think definitely there's got to be a time jump. I think we're going to pick up 10 years after.
I don't know about 10 years.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we got to start or early on do like a Leia funeral kind of thing. I feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like a change of power within the Resistance.
I disagree. I think it's going to be, the crawl is going to say 10 years have passed, General Leia succumbed to,
Oh, yeah. No, okay.
She could die in the crawl.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She could die in the
and
crawl.
now, and Poe Dameron is now the head of the first, whatever it is.
Oh, God. That would be a bad choice.
And then,
he's going to be the leader.
And Rey's training, a
Young
Padawan. Just probably not a Jet, a bunch.
God, I would
but
love for Rey to have a Padawan.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that until right now.
Yeah.
God, I hope Rey has a Padawan.
Yeah, I think she'll have a Padawan.
Let's give her a personality first, but then we got to give her
Oh.
What do you guys think? That's my thought. I think it goes from there, and I think at that point they have a little more momentum, and Kylo Ren, and there's some sort of MacGuffin that they're probably both chasing.
That could be. They're hunting for something, maybe something Force related. I think the Hux-Kylo relationship was going to come to a forefront in Episode 9.
He's gonna get Force choked out.
Yeah, I would be totally fine with Hux dying to Force choke.
See, I don't know. I think Hux might wormtail his way out of this.
Yeah.
Or Wormtongue his way out of this.
Yeah, either work.
He makes,
Either one works.
that is actually a good point.
Yeah.
Where he makes it to the end, and then he's actually the downfall, or at least the final nail in the coffin for Kylo.
Yeah, it could be.
Do you think they try and redeem Kylo?
I think so.
Like a final redemption Darth Vader style? Or I hope they don't.
That's why I don't think they do.
Yeah,
I feel like you could do Kylo in reverse Anakin, whereas Anakin gets saved at the end, like Kylo's final act is his darkest act.
Yeah,
Right.
I want him to go down like a fucking son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Like I don't want him to ever change. Like when he stabbed him, he killed Han Solo, man. If they redeem him, what does that say about?
Like I said, I'm fine with not redeeming Kylo.
Yeah.
I didn't think of the idea of Rey having a Padawan, but I think that would be cool.
In 10 years, she'd be, because she has the book. She'd be good.
Make it the kid with the broom.
Yeah.
Oh, you could be the kid with the broom.
Yeah, but we already know there's going to be more Force kids out there besides that. Force Ghost Luke.
Yep. Force Ghost Anakin.
I don't know about Force Ghost Anakin because I just don't. Why in the world would you bring Hayden Christensen in?
Can you imagine what like the Force Ghost conversations are like when it's like Force Ghost Yoda and Force Ghost Obi-Wan with Force Ghost Darth Vader?
Yeah,
it'd be like, so hey, remember when you killed all those kids? What was that about?
Younglings.
Number 3, I like that one. It's a dark movie.
It's not as dark as you remember it to be. I don't think the last 45 minutes are, but I don't really have a lot of other predictions.
Yeah,
it's because it's hard. Because again, Rian Johnson gave you a movie that you could do a lot
anything.
of shit.
It's also hard because there's no actual design for this movie, so there's no way to predict based on what we've seen what's going to happen.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I want to come back, but it's not going to happen, is Ahsoka.
That would be amazing.
I want an Ahsoka movie.
Oh, it would be so cool if they
hard.
integrated her into the main universe, the movie universe.
Well, I heard that they're doing a
Ahsoka Tano is a character from the Clone Wars, by the way.
Yeah,
and Rebels.
And Rebels. You guys
I hear
should
that
watch
Star Wars TV show is going to do one, either a live action or a cartoon from Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens.
It gets into spoiler territory, but that's how Rebels ends. Rebels takes place, the very last scene in Rebels is immediately after the fall of the Empire, and it has Ahsoka Tano in it.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I think if they do one from that see how it went bad for Luke, but in that time period, make her a main character.
Yeah, I want Ahsoka prior to. It's unfortunate because Rebels already did it, but I would like to have seen Ahsoka gun against Darth Vader in the film. Like, not that Rebels does it poorly. Like, again, if you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, you should. I've seen a fair amount because you can find a lot of it online. But 9's just I'm ready for it. It's going to take 2 years to get here.
Do you think there's going to be any kind of romance between Finn and Rose, or Finn and?
I mean, they're definitely setting up for Finn and Rey,
and Finn and Rey, or Poe and Rey.
I feel like they teased Poe and Rey at the end of the film.
Well, I think there's a rectangle going on there now. You know, not the love triangle, but the
love quadrilateral.
Yeah, there's 4 people, I think, because I think Rey could be with any of those 2 guys, but then Finn could be with either of those 2 girls.
No, they've definitely. I think they've set it up a lot more for Rey and Finn.
Me too.
However, the Rey and Adam Driver, Rey and Kylo Ren chemistry, I feel like is just so much better. And I mean, to be fair, they spent a lot more time on it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if they're going to be related or who knows what the fuck they're going to do with it.
Yeah,
but
I hope they don't retcon that. I'm fine with Rey not having special parents.
Me too, and I would be fine with Rey not doing any kind of romance.
I also agree with that. Like Luke in the original series.
Yeah, and she could be a hero. You don't need any kind of romance.
She's a strong independent Jedi. You don't need no man.
That would fit in right in with the the
you're
Me
welcome,
Too.
Christian.
Yeah, you beat me to it, man.
I did.
That was so sad.
I want a Lando appearance since, like we said, we've been robbed. He's got to.
I don't think he's ever coming back.
No, because everyone else. Who else? No one else. Everyone else has come in now.
The saddest thing I've ever heard was it was Billy D. Williams at like a Comic-Con when they had announced Force Awakens and they were in like pre-production, and he was talking about how he heard I don't know, like Kenny Baker got a call about being in the movie. He's like, I'm just waiting on my call.
Never came.
Never fucking came.
Yeah.
Every single other person from the original trilogy got called back except for fucking Lando.
Warwick Davis, his got cut, but he did film a scene for it. Yeah. So you can find it online.
He at least got the call.
Yeah.
I think if Han Solo does good, I think you could see a spin-off with a young Lando with
for sure.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, I'm sure they made Donald Glover sign up for like 3 movies.
Yeah,
they goddamn better.
Yeah, he seems so charming.
Solo comes out in a couple months. But
yeah,
we'll definitely cover that one.
Yeah,
we're 2 months out from another Star Wars movie, which is crazy.
Yeah, you would never have thought this 10 years ago.
No, another one in 2 months. That's insane.
It's insane. So I'm going to say definitely for me, Star Wars Last Jedi, definitely better than Transformers. However, I'm going to say it's worse than Force Awakens.
Ooh.
That's my double comparison. I want to do.
You want to rank your Star Wars movies real fast?
I do not.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
I bet I could. I think I could quickly.
Fuck. Well, do the thing first.
Okay. Ian, you want to go?
Okay. I think once again, Last Jedi is better than Transformers, and I will say also worse than Force Awakens.
You think it's worse than Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Oh, you said you think Force Awakens is better. Yeah. Definitely better than Transformers. But it took me 2 days to come to that conclusion. Like, I wasn't ready to make a judgment when I first saw the film. Do I think it's better than Force Awakens? I say it's better than Force Awakens.
Okay.
And if I had to rank Star Wars movies top to bottom,
I'll do that for you.
Fucking.
Well, are we including Rogue One?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, I'm including Rogue One.
Fuck you. All right.
Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, Last Jedi, Rogue One, Force Awakens, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Oh, you're crazy.
No, it's not going to get any better from here because I know my list is not going to be received better. So for me, it's Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, probably Last Jedi. I don't know. Phantom Menace and Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones are really close for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Rogue One,
Holy
and then
shit.
Episode 3.
He's just, oh my god, mine is like the almost so far different here. My favorite's definitely Empire Strikes Back, then Return of the Jedi, then New Hope, then Episode 3, Phantom Menace. Then
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, and then definitely would have to go with Rogue One, then Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and then 1 and 2 are at the bottom together.
Man, you really put Last Jedi down there.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man. I knew you didn't like Rogue One, but God, you
I
really
hate Rogue
don't
One.
like
I think it's a
Rogue
piece
One.
of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why?
We don't have time for that.
Yeah. So, you guys watch anything else this week?
I watched a lot of stuff this week.
What'd you watch?
I'm catching up on the Alien movies, which I've seen on TV in parts, but never watched all the way through. I watched the original Alien a couple weeks ago. I watched Aliens and Alien Covenant.
Which did you prefer of the first two?
I actually prefer Alien.
Yeah, I do too. Alien 1 is better than Aliens.
Both
Aliens is more of an action movie.
Yeah, both of them. The third act are the strongest part of it. But I still just like the Alien movie better. And Alien Covenant is a piece of shit.
It's so bad. What do you think about Michael Fassbender?
Yeah, and Michael Fassbender's good.
Fassbender
And I
fight?
like,
Except for the kiss part, which is really awkward to me.
I don't know, it fits for me. It's weird, but it also fits the character for me. I like seeing Danny McBride in like a more dramatic role.
I told you he was the best part.
I think Michael Fassbender and Danny McBride are the best parts.
I'd like to see more of him in like
and Danny
non-comedic
McBride
roles.
Lives, so maybe if Ridley Scott decides to make another Alien,
lives to be experimented on over 1,000 years.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
But those both Aliens better than Transformers, though not by as much as I think most people think. And then Alien Covenant is definitely worse than Transformers.
Far worse.
I also saw there's a music video that came out for Rick and Morty fans out there.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
I saw that too.
It's a Run the Jewels song called "Oh Mama," and it's animated by the people who did Rick and Morty. And it's a Rick and Morty adventure set to the tune of this song. And the song is banging. The video is banging. I was a big fan.
I wanted all music videos from here on out to be Rick and Morty music videos.
I love Rick and Morty.
What about you guys? You guys see anything this week?
Oh, I just powered through more West Wing. We'll finish season 5 tomorrow, and hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'll knock it out.
I watched a little Tomb Raider.
Oh, you did?
Did you watch the whole thing?
Most of it, yeah. Not good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not good. I wouldn't recommend it. It's boring. That's really what my takeaway was. It just didn't hold my interest. It's very generic 90s action. It's got Walter Goggins as the villain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's got McNulty from The Wire, if you guys have watched that. I forget his name.
Dominic West?
Dominic West, yep, is her father. And it's fine. It's very forgettable. It's not
Did you play the new video games?
I played the game it's based on.
I hear it's beat for beat the first
game. Yes, it's very much survival on an island. And she definitely, it looks like she took it seriously. Like her stunts, I think she did most of her stunts, so it was fine, but it's very like it's not going to do well. It's very
it's going to bomb.
It's like it's an out of style movie. They don't make those movies anymore. 90s action movies.
Yeah, the quest for a good video game movie continues.
Yeah, that's not it. So, and I'm really excited to watch Pacific Rim tonight. And I got it on DVD. No, the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to watch the new one this weekend, and hopefully we can talk about it next week.
Oh, shit, when does it come out?
This week, Friday.
Okay, maybe we can go see it Thursday.
Yeah. We'll do it.
All right. Well,
we will be taking a week off, so
we'll be taking a week off, and the one after that might also be a day or two late, but we'll get it out.
Yeah.
Some much needed vacation. If you want to follow us online, Joseph, can you tell us where you can follow us at?
Sure. If you have any questions, comments, or you have a better ranking for your favorite Star Wars films, reach us at betterthantransformers@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Twitter at BT Transformers and on Facebook also at BT Transformers.
I'd love to hear how you guys think the best way to watch the Star Wars movies.
Oh,
is.
yeah, that'd be great.
There are a bunch of different ways, though. The best way to get caught up.
The only thing I am astute, like you cannot change this. You got to watch Rogue One and then immediately follow with
New Hope.
A New Hope.
They're a companion piece for sure. I like doing New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, which you don't spoil the twist. Then you do Rogue One. Well, no, hold on, that messes it up.
Think about it some other time.
Some other time.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. If you like this, please rate and subscribe on iTunes. That really helps us out. And really, if you really like it, please tell a friend, because that's really the best way that we can get some exposure. So again,
thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, guys. Thanks again to Zach Evans for our art and Brian Velasquez for our music. And we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
We'll talk later. To you soon, guys.
All right, bye.